Lovely. Hello and welcome to episode 44
Double four.
of the Power Pod with
Two
your
digits.
hosts, Mark and Owen.
That's us. We're back again.
2 more months until a full year doing the podcast, Mark. How do you feel?
I actually feel really bad. I feel terrible.
I feel like I've wasted the year. I think we we recorded our first episode in July, but it didn't release until after that.
I do not recall, I have to say.
Pretty sure. I can't remember you though.
It's all a blur. Lockdown,
Who knows?
a year ago is not long ago at all,
No,
And
not in
lockdown
lockdown
times.
years.
And lockdown years just feels like fucking, the other day. Which is good in a way, but also really bad, and sort of scary.
A lot of bollocks.
We're losing our youth.
Telling you. I actually saw this. My mum was saying to me, did you hear that thing about what the guards said?
The guard said, what they say?
About drinking outside. Not like bars, drinking outside and shit like that.
The way they want clarification on the law.
The law states that due to licensing, pubs and bars and shit aren't actually allowed to serve drinks outside of their premises. But then it's just like, well, then why the fuck? What do you mean? Why are you saying that now? Last year was okay. Why is it now an issue? The guards can just go fuck themselves at this stage.
The guards,
Hot take.
all of them, they're all idiots. All idiots. Like, everyone knew that before.
Yeah.
It
It just wasn't a problem, but now...
wasn't a problem. Plus, like, the government knew that as well, and they're still like, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
And now the guy's like, here, wait, we found this technicality, and we got you all, Yous are all going up into the fucking joy or whatever for drinking cans. It was always that if you're drinking on the street, they could pour it out, but if it was sealed, they couldn't. Everyone knew that pretty much.
But then you saw the videos of the guards just taking people's drink and just pouring out.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's illegal, yeah. That's all the bollocks.
But now they're trying to get the bars and stuff because they're like, oh, well, technically bars, you're not actually allowed to sell drink outside your premises.
There would be riots if they tried that. If they tried to close the bars again, there would literally be riots.
Oh, that's the final straw. Like, that's it.
There would
mass protests.
Not even protests. There would just be riots
Yeah.
all over Stephen's Green. Stephen's Green would be, like, people think it's bad right now. It would be a jungle every single day because all the kids are out now as well. And they'll all just get cans and stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy to get cans, If you're in town. Anyone who walks through town any day of the week, it's a fucking jungle out there right now.
Crazy.
Imagine they closed the bars again.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking, don't even think about it.
Did you see that video of the bartenders fighting off those fucking scumbags they're trying to bottle them? Stuff like
Yeah,
that?
South William Street. That
Jesus.
place, that's the thing. You need to know jiu-jitsu to work on that street because it's a jungle. It's an
Yeah.
absolute jungle. Everyone down there is an animal. I was walking through there like 2-3 weeks ago. I was like a human wall. Everyone was shirtless and fucked, like absolutely pissed. And everyone had like a fucking speaker on their shoulder. It was like a human rave.
Yeah.
It was a human rave. It was like a rave. It was like a rave.
Human rave.
It was like a rave in the woods,
Yeah, I know.
Because they couldn't go anywhere, and like there's no regulated spaces to drink alcohol or to intoxicate yourself. So they just do it on the street. It's like the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
What do they expect to happen? Like you need to have your wits about you on South William Street.
Yeah.
To work there.
You do, yeah.
To be there like for more than a few hours, like.
That kick was sublime. Like, the video was horrific, but Jesus Christ, that kick was sublime.
Yeah, he missed, but like,
Thank God he missed, man. He would have killed him if he
you'd have fucked that guy up. And then his mate comes in and gets stabbed straight away,
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Shocking stuff. But like, that's the thing. Like, it's almost like, yeah, maybe if your country's like culture is basically based around drinking, that this might be an issue that like there's not much else to do in your city when the only thing that you like, that the whole tourist industry and the only thing that you can do in your city is to drink. Like, that might be an issue.
There you go, yeah.
Like
the local people can't make use of your hotels, Leo, your boutique hotels. They don't do anything, It's like the most populated, the most concentrated population anywhere on the island. And there's nothing to do except drink or like drink fucking overpriced coffee or whatever, or kombucha. All this bollocks, It's depressing.
Yeah, it is depressing.
Like out in Sandyford, man, you should see it's like a wasteland. I don't know how people live there. It's like Mars. They've no pubs, they've no chippers. It's just all these like overpriced coffee places and a Pizza Hut which sells the worst pizza I've ever tasted in my entire life. I'm still I had a pizza there from that Pizza Hut 2-3 weeks ago. I'm still recovering from it. My gut is still recovering. I'm still like in pieces every day. Like, it's just, I don't know how anyone lives down there.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. You know what we should do? We should
What?
we should form a terror cell right now. Hold on, because this is gonna be a transition.
A terror cell.
A terror cell. And we should
I like
kidnap
your thinking.
We should make films, and that's what we should do. We should just be Cecil B. Demented and go around making films. That's
Yeah.
something to do,
I think that'd be really cool.
It would be cool. It's a cool
Yeah.
movie.
Like a terrorist cell that makes movies. It's a great movie as well, or it's an interesting movie.
It's
anyway.
an interesting movie.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed it.
I thought it was cool. Yeah, it's just like it's like all over the shop, everywhere. There's an ensemble cast. You know, you'd recognize most of the people in it. You know.
Yeah, Stephen Dorff, a la fucking
Yeah, True Detective.
season 3.
He's the main character.
Yeah.
Cecil B. Demented, and then Melanie Griffiths, whoever that is. I think I know her name.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what she's in.
You got fucking
The guy from The Wire.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is
Yeah.
also in it. Yeah, 2000. This came
Yeah.
out 2000.
And fucking Michael Shannon as well.
Michael Shannon's also in it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was around back then.
And there's like that, I don't know, there's the black guy that's in it, and I recognize him from
he's from The Wire.
Is he from The Wire?
He's in The Wire.
I don't
know his name.
I don't know his
Because
name.
I've only watched one episode of The
I
Wire.
haven't seen The Wire, but I recognize him from other things as well.
He is in other things
Yeah.
as well. He's on loads of TV shows and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like, that guy.
Yeah, I think his name was like Larry something. And then there's loads of people in it. Patty Hearst is in it, which is interesting because the whole plot of the film is that this sort of
Hollywood star.
Hollywood diva Honey Whitlock is kidnapped by this terrorist cell. I don't know if they have an official name. It's just they're just dedicated to the ideal of celluloid, of dying for cinema, of underground cinema, outlaw.
No, death for celluloid in particular.
Death for celluloid. Yeah, for film. You know, that's a big thing. They call it outlaw cinema. They're making it's like guerrilla filmmaking, which is sort of like a play on the fact that they're a guerrilla terrorist organization, basically, and they're holding this Honey Whitlock hostage and forcing her to star in their film, which they shoot sort of like, you know, ad hoc on the go as they're running from the law, hence outlaw cinema. But it's based loosely on the story of Patty Hearst, who was the granddaughter of William Randolph Hearst, who was the guy who Citizen Kane was modelled off. And she was kidnapped in the 70s by the Symbionese Liberation Army, which was a terrorist group who were like communists or something like that. And they kidnapped her because she was like, obviously, you know, a lot of value in her. And they kidnapped her and like sort of brainwashed her, like hypnotized her while they had her hostage. And eventually she ended up like partaking in their bank robberies and like their different criminal activities as a terrorist organization.
To be fair, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Yeah, it's like,
you'll be a bank robber. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like either we'll kill you or you can partake in the bank robbery. I'd be like, yeah, all right, let's go, let's do this.
I've seen Heat.
yeah, I know what to do. But basically, they caught them all at the end, and she got like sentenced to like life in prison. But it got commuted down to 7 years, and then she got pardoned by Reagan, I think. But she is in this film. She's the mother of one of the characters, the character Fidget, and she shows up in various scenes, either like on the TV or on the phone talking to him.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because, like, I don't know, like, how they like negotiate that, like, getting onto her agents, like, here we got this kind of biopic, but it's also a piss take
It's
about.
because it's John Waters' movie.
Yeah. So basically taking the piss out of her experience, and she was like, yeah, why not?
She's like, yeah, it is gas. To be fair.
Yeah, it is pretty. It's a pretty funny story. But yeah, it's a crazy film.
It is a crazy film because, like, not only is it like loosely based on that story, it's almost like it's loosely based off like John Waters' like whole yeah, his Uber or
Uber.
his Uber driver. It's like based off his own like ideology with making films or whatever. But yeah, so they just go around, but like they have like these like monologues that are like anyone that supports bad cinema must die and stuff like that.
I agree.
And I agree, but like there's so many good bits.
And
like,
I agree.
It's just like, yeah, if you're someone that wants Forrest Gump 2, you should die.
Yeah, that's a really funny bit. Because the whole thing is they're like the Maryland Film Commission or something like that. Like the studio system is like sort of showing like a united front against these terrorists. And it's like, we will continue on doing what we do. We've already we've pushed forward the start date for the shooting of Forrest Gump 2, Gump Again or something like that, starring I can't remember his name, something Nealon. He's like a well-known comedian, and he's like there saying like, oh, I can't wait to be in this film. It's like
gonna be good, boys.
Yeah, there's so many different levels of meta.
It's a very
text,
meta film.
You know, yeah,
because like, even the way that they go around, like, there's like complete amateur filmmaking. It's like basically how John Waters started as well. And even the fact that like Cecil B. Demented has his own little crew that he keeps around them, and they make films, which is basically John Waters is Dreamers is what they call. What are they called again?
Yeah, The Dreamers, something like that.
Which is like he made films with the same group of people all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like a hyper like piss take of John Waters himself. But like just the whole the whole thing is like even when they're talking about like cinema and stuff like that, you're just like, yeah, kind of get that. And they all have fucking tattoos of like filmmakers on their arms and stuff like that. It's got like David Lynch and stuff tattooed onto them.
Kenneth Anger and stuff like that.
All these filmmakers that some of which we've covered on this podcast because we are true auteurs of cinema.
Oh yeah. I was like, I know him.
Don't worry, Cecil, I get it. But even like when they go into like the porn cinema or whatever, and it's like porn watchers, we need your help and stuff like that. And like they're like, yeah, let's fucking do it because like porn cinema is a thing and it's a weird thing. I've never seen any like proper like hour-long porn films or hour and a half hour long porn films. You know that you can like rent
like
porn
like
films
videos
stuff like
and
that.
Yeah.
Like
An hour and a half is like that's.
The stroke my chin.
Yeah, why would you watch
stroke
that all
my
the way
chin.
through? I love the part when what is it? You know your man from Entourage, like he's like a drug addict, and your one Honey, what's her name? Honey's I've already forgotten her fucking name. Honey Whitwell or whatever. She's like, oh, like I can't believe you're into drugs. Like that's so fucked up. He's like, drugs are great. He's like, before I started drugs, I had so many problems. Now I've only one problem: drugs. So, and he falls into a K-hole in the middle of a shootout. He's like, I'm stuck in the K-hole.
He's like trying to run forward. He's just staying still. And then when he's about to die, it's like, quick poppers.
So
many good lines in the film.
Yeah, the whole like hyper vulgarity of it. All these misfits, all these outcasts. The porn actress and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very cool.
Because this is my first John Waters film as well. I haven't seen anything else besides this. And I was like, I've heard that this is like kind of mid-tier John Waters, and I was like, I really like this, so I feel like we're gonna like all of his other shit.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
This is an extremely like meta film, and it moves along at a fucking breakneck pace. Like an hour went by in this film, I was like, Jesus, I didn't even feel that. Because so much happens. It's like so many lines and stuff like that are just so memorable, and like Michael Shannon's character, I just loved him. He was so good.
Yeah, he's a king. Young Michael Shannon.
Yeah, young Mick. Haven't seen him in anything in a while. He's been in a few bits though.
He was in Superman.
Was he in Superman?
Yeah, he was General Zod. Remember that? Man of Steel?
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but
very bad. Very bad.
That's why I didn't see it.
But
he was in Shape of Water as well. Played the bad guy in there.
Oh, did he?
He was scary in that.
He was in Take Shelter, I think.
I've heard that's very good.
He was also in Midnight something or other, which is by the same director. Midnight Special. That was okay.
I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it.
It was pretty good. He was in a few. He was in Mud. He's like the dad in Mud, or like the older brother. It's pretty good now.
I remember watching Mud. I can't remember a fucking thing about it.
I loved Mud. I thought it was amazing. It's like an amazing coming of age film.
Yeah.
So
for Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew. That was the start of his comeback.
Yeah, he was good in it. Cecil B. Demented is very good as well.
It is.
It's the cast as well is insane because they're all so young in it.
Yeah, they're all little babbies.
Yeah.
Little
babes.
Little babs. A proper ensemble job, Fair play to them.
The whole thing as well was like no sexual contact until we make this film.
Yeah,
and they're all super horny all the time.
Yeah, the film's like powered by sexual energy.
Yeah,
it's like we're using our horniness against the system and stuff like that. It's very funny,
It is very good.
Very good.
Enjoyed it.
Classic Johnny Waters.
Yeah, it's just with all tricks,
Before he got into the whole pandemic bullshit, he was pretty good filmmaker.
Oh, is he into that?
Well, John Waters and Gemma O'Doherty.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Jeez, you have me worried there for a second. Yeah.
It's the same guy.
It is the same
dude.
He
just grew the hair out.
Just became scaldier.
Became a racist.
Yeah. Became a huge Irish nationalist.
Yeah.
Like the racist kind.
Yeah.
What else have you been watching this week?
I watched Memories of Murder.
Ooh.
Which is something I've always wanted to watch. I first was recommended it, but like back when True Detective was huge, I was reading loads of articles about it, and a lot of it was like, if you like True Detective, you'll love this and this and this. And Memories of Murder, like, always came up.
Yeah,
because it's a detective film. But it's also much more than that.
It is.
You know, it's about the Hui Song murders.
Mhm.
I've butchered that pronunciation, but they're real serial murders that occurred in South Korea in the 80s, I think.
Mhm.
80s, maybe early 90s. Where this guy was like victimizing young women, and he had like a very set kind of modus operandi, you know. And they didn't know who he was, and they never sort of tracked it down. And the film is loosely based on that. Like, it's not it's not like openly about it.
It's not like Zodiac.
It's not like Zodiac, which is
Yeah.
a film which is very similar.
Yeah.
But Zodiac is like, yeah.
Zodiac is like the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's complete opposite in some ways. Cause,
But
like,
it's also very similar.
yeah.
Because they never solved it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because the two films are more about the communities,
Mm.
like sort of the fallout, than the actual killings or
Yeah.
like the killers themselves. Because like a lot of those serial killer films fall into the trap of like romanticizing murder
Mhm.
or like murderers. Like the idea that there's anything really like romantic or like interesting really at all about murder.
Yeah,
like, it's
I'm looking at you, Rob Zombie.
yeah. Because like obviously it's not a very pleasant thing.
Yeah.
Like especially for the murdered.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a few seconds of pain and then it's over, you know, for
Mhm.
good. And even the murderers are always just like fucking perverts and stuff.
Mhm. They're always
Uh,
freaks.
They're always just weirdos. And that's a big thing in Zodiac, because in Zodiac you have they show the killer
Mhm.
like in quite a few scenes whenever there's a murder. But it's always different actors. He's
Mhm.
always like, sometimes he's like 5'10", he's like 150 pounds. Sometimes he's like 6'2", 210. Sometimes he's wearing glasses. Sometimes he's not. Like he could be anybody,
Mhm.
which is like scary in the sense that like, oh, he's out there, but also in the sense that like he's just a guy. He's just
Yeah.
a random guy. It's similar in Memories of Murder, because he's just he's never really shown. But when he is shown, it's just like flashes, just glimpses.
Yeah.
And it's not really romanticized, the fact that he's like doing this. It's more about the detectives and their struggle with it,
Mhm.
and the paranoia within the communities itself, because they're like hunting after this person who basically doesn't exist, and they're like constantly questioning everything about like what they're seeing, and like their philosophies, and like how they look at the world, how they approach the cases,
Mhm.
and themselves. They're just their perception of reality, which is a bigger thing in Memories of Murder than the Zodiac. Because obviously you have that famous scene at the end of Memories of Murder where what's his name?
Fucking hell! He said his name earlier.
Yeah.
Kang-Ho Song.
Kang-Ho Sung. He looks directly into the camera because
Mm.
his character, he's the shaman. I'm going to say he's the shaman because he has this whole thing where his technique, he's like this kind of country kind of like a hillbilly kind of detective, and his whole thing, his technique for solving cases is to look into their eyes, and you can sort of tell that way, just like reading their eyes. And basically all through the film they're struggling with finding this guy, and they have all these different suspects, but nothing ever turns out as it should. But the final scene is him looking directly into the camera. So he's looking directly into the audience. He's like reaching into the fourth dimension. He's like, where is this guy?
Yeah.
He's somewhere out there. I can see him there in the fucking cinema. Or like in general, he's out there. Well, like, yeah, both films are like hugely about paranoia. And
It's a very powerful film, to be fair.
Paro films, because, you know, that's the whole thing. Because it's a social phenomenon. You know, murderers, serial killers. You know, they murder like multiple people. Yeah. So that way it becomes a community thing. It's not just a tragic kind of romance tale where it's like one person overcoming another, or like exploiting another. It's something that like infects the community. Like in Memories of Murder, you have this sort of ticking clock. Oh, they know that the killer kills when it rains.
Yeah.
So whenever it starts raining,
about that. Yeah.
whenever it starts raining, they panic, and they just like batten down the hatches, and like everyone runs inside. Even though he doesn't kill that many people. I think in real life he only killed like a dozen people ish. But everyone is obviously a potential target and a potential victim
and a potential suspect.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, wow, there's like the superposition of paranoia. And in the Zodiac, obviously you have the whole the letters, which is what really made him famous, because the Zodiac only killed, I think, 5 people.
Yeah.
He didn't kill a lot of people.
That's how lucid he was.
Like, yeah. Like, but he's like one of the most iconic serial killers of all time, like past like Jack the Ripper, because he had this thing where he wrote letters. He taunted the population, and like made these false threats, and had this kind of persona that led people to like be infected. It's like this contagious fear around San Francisco, and it's portrayed in Zodiac with like just a general paranoia where people are just afraid to go outside, afraid afraid to do anything really because he could be around any corner. You know, it's very cool stuff.
Yeah, just when you're saying that, I was just thinking about the Unabomber. Is that why he wrote letters and stuff to them and stuff like that? Because he was like kind of emulating the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, he wanted to get his manifesto published on the front page of New York Times.
Yeah.
So like that's just like publicity. I think it's more of a political thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Zodiac was the same. It was more like, oh, I'm a pervert. I'm a creepy guy. I want to scare everybody. Whereas the Unabomber was like, I'm right. I want everyone to see the light. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get it. He didn't kill many people either, but he's also one of the most famous. So it kind of worked that way.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I watched Memories of Murder, I watched it fucking 2 moons ago, 2 years ago, and it was when we were in Vancouver, and I can't remember it mostly because the DVD that I rented just fucking kept skipping, so I can't really remember it. And I definitely need to go back and watch it because
definitely it's very, very good. You know, compelling stuff.
I'll do that soon.
Yeah.
Because I've heard like universally great things about the film, and I did like it, but I also I couldn't properly get into it because every so often it would skip, and I was just getting annoyed. So
yeah.
That's never a good way to watch a movie. I should have just gave up, but I was like, no, I want to watch this movie. But the film suffered because of it. I'm a fucking idiot.
It's just the way it works. You know, it's the way the cookie crumbles.
Damn, I was gonna say that.
Yeah. But yeah. I should do a double feature. Zodiac and Memories of Murder. Well, they're very long.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Zodiac is, and I watched Zodiac recently enough.
Yeah.
For the first time, I watched Zodiac I think the first lockdown. I watched that, and I watched 7 around the same time. Also about a murderer, David Lynch. David Fincher.
Yeah.
But no, Memories of Murder, I remember being very good. But yeah, the end. I just remember the end being like, oh shit.
The end's like, it's paro, you know, because I read different readings that it's either he's looking out into the audience because obviously it was only solved in 2017, 2018, and he only got sentenced there I think last year, because they found the DNA, they matched the DNA, but it hadn't been solved when the film was first released. But there's also like a second reading that I read because the film is set in the 80s, obviously 80s and 90s. That was back when South Korea was like a dictatorship, like a military kind of setup. And it's shown in one of the scenes where the kicker, is the guy who's like he's the partner of the shaman character. He's just like an idiot. He just like he can't do his job, so he just uses violence to intimidate people. And like violence is very open in this. Like the people in the town accept the fact that the inspectors, the detectives will use violence and torture innocent people
and kick the shit out of them.
Kick the shit out of them. Yeah. But there's one scene where there's like a riot. It starts raining and there's like a riot. There's like mass panic or something like that, and it just shows like police like running in and just like stampeding on people and the kicker like kicking someone. There's something about that, like the way maybe the last shot is like, oh, like you're the killer. Yeah. All of you, you know, like he's out there. He's among us. It's like the people who just sort of stood back and like watched all this stuff happen, or like let it happen, or committed the crimes themselves, you know, because there's obviously a huge operation behind that. Yeah, because Bong Joon-ho never ever admitted what the ending meant or anything like that, which is how you fucking do it, you know. Yeah, you don't tell people what you meant. Does anyone ever actually do that? I just except for your man Darren Aronofsky. I just think of that. Yeah, Mother. Yeah. Or Deer Hunter. Yeah. You literally ruined it. No matter what you say, you'll ruin the film. Yeah, just leave it up to interpretation. Yeah. Just do David Lynch like, is this what it means? Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Did you see his beard recently? I saw that he shaved it. Yeah, he shaved it. But man, he had the most amazing beard. He did. You know, like, and the hair as well. The hair's like pompadour kind of thing. If you can believe it. What a king. What a fucking king. Now, yeah, good movie. I definitely have to pick it up, watch it again. South Korea, man, they just know how to make pretty good movies. Pretty good movies. Like Park Chan-wook. Holy fuck. Old Boy. Yeah, that was fucked up. Remember we watched Old Boy in college? Yeah, back in the day, yeah. I remember people like when we came out of that, people were like, because like, especially because we watched it in first year, and I feel like the films that you watch in like, you know, secondary school and stuff like that, you know, they're not gonna be like, they might be like a little bit fucked up. Like I remember watching Beasts of No Nation. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was religion class. Yeah, that was pretty shocking to watch that in school because it was like kids like getting murdered and shit. But then when you come into fucking college, it's like, well, you're adults now, so we can show you whatever the fuck we want. Yeah. So here's Old Boy. I remember people walked out of Clockwork Orange and all like, Remember that?
In college?
In college, yeah.
Did we watch that in college?
We watched bits of it. I remember we watched maybe like the opening scene or something.
Yeah,
Lots of people walked out, which is fair.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, like, they're allowed to show you that kind of thing.
Yeah, they can show you whatever you want.
And Old Boy is pretty fucked up, and Grizzly Man and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Which is pretty fucked up as well.
that's good movies in college. But Old Boy, yeah, the ending of Old Boy is crazy. But it is part of a trilogy of films by Park Chan-wook called the Vengeance Trilogy. And the first one came out in 2003, I want to say. Could be wrong on the date there. This also stars our boy, Kang-Ho Sung.
He's in every Korean film.
He's for people that don't recognize the name, he's the dad from Parasite. Like,
Yeah.
arguably the best actor in the world.
Yeah, I would say objectively.
Yeah. Like, he's
amazing.
He's amazing in everything he's in.
Yeah.
And he's like
king.
very distinct in everything that he's in. But this also stars another dude who's another Korean actor that I've recognized in some things, but in other things as well. I can't remember his name, so I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because I'll just look it up. But this is so the Vengeance Trilogy always focuses on revenge and the philosophy and outcomes or whatever of vengeance and is it ever right or whatever. And in this one, it's the lead character. He's deaf and his sister has something wrong with her kidneys that's gonna kill her eventually. So he's trying to, get her new kidneys and pay for it as well. So he first tries to go to these organ people, and he's like, "Here, take my kidney and give me 10 million or whatever." Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they're like, "We'll take your kidney
and take 10 million off you."
No, wait,
That's
the fuck
such a
is
bad
it?
deal.
No, yeah, I think they're like, "Give us 10 million and we'll give you a kidney."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they just take his kidney and
he
fuck off.
wakes up on the table, he's like,
Yeah.
"I have no kidney."
he wakes up naked and he's got no kidney. He's like, "Oh fuck, they stole my kidney."
Not again.
Did you ever see that fucking Charlie the Unicorn, that thing? What the fuck is it called? That YouTube thing?
I've heard of it. I don't think.
Yeah, I just always remember.
remember.
It's like, "Oh fuck, they stole my kidneys."
Both kidneys.
Yeah. So he then decides, I'll kidnap him and his girlfriend are like, we'll kidnap a kid, and like, okay, as long as the parent pays us whatever, everything will be sorted. And it goes all wrong, and then the dad is just like, I need to take revenge, and the dad is Kang-Ho Sung. But this is very, very different to Old Boy. It's way more stripped back, stylistically, because Jesus, I just remember the style of Old Boy is just so. Old Boy is such a perfectly crafted movie in a way, I think.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
it's so stylized and so stylistic.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, it is. It's well done.
Very well done.
Very well done.
Do you like the Old Boy? Yeah.
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 Same. Does the job. It's one of the classics.
It is.
The classics. It's Korean, isn't it? Korean cinema.
Yeah.
I don't know how they broke through Japan, China, North Korea slacking to bits. South Korea seems to dominate that kind of Eastern or at least the Western perception of the East.
Oh yeah, Jesus, yeah.
You
got fucking Bollywood films. I imagine are massive, probably in the East. But I don't know.
I'd say they're shite though.
I'm sure there has to be, man.
There has to be good ones.
There has to be good ones. There's obviously just the ones that we think of that are just the ones
J-Ho,
fucking Slumdog Millionaire, that type.
Yeah. That's not a right film though.
It is an alright film,
Yeah.
but
That kind of stereotype.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's one called. Oh no, can't even remember the name of it. It's on my watch list though, and apparently it's amazing. I can't remember the name of it though, and I can't remember the director or anything. But there's one that I want to watch, and it's only 90 minutes. I'm like, because that's the thing with Bollywood films; they're all 2.5 hours long or 3 hours or something like that.
Are they?
Yeah, they're mad long.
Because so many people.
Yeah, just here's something to do. So the first one's called Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and it's a kind of messy movie. There's some bits in the film are I just didn't know what was going on, because it's almost like the film didn't give you enough context or something for it, which I've noticed, having watched more Park Chan-wook films, is a thing that I've noticed in his films where I'm like, how? Because there's one point where a character goes to someone's house, and I was like, how the fuck did he find out where the house was? That was never explained. So I'm just like, okay, I'm assuming he found out somehow, but you're not privy to that information. I guess it's not really important, but I don't know. It kind of feels important.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, another character is like murdered, and it's like, what? Why? When the fuck did that person die?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But arguably, like, if this film hits you on the emotional level that it can hit you on, this film is better than Old Boy, and I think it is better than Old Boy.
Better than Old Boy.
Yeah.
Sympathy.
Yeah, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, I think, is maybe better than Old Boy.
What's it on?
It's on American movie.
American movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to give that a look. So Park Chan Wook.
Yeah.
Get on board, you know.
It's slow.
All
It's
aboard
a
the
it's
train.
a slow burn though. It's a
How long is it?
2 hours.
That's grand.
Yeah.
That's grand.
Yeah, but it is a very slow burn. But like, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
And like, it's purposely slow.
That's kind of like what like Memories of Murder is like that as well. 2 hours, but it's like it's a slow burn for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, or not an hour and a half. Maybe the first hour at least is like it's pretty slow, but it all starts to like sort of it's like a fucking it piles up at the end, you know.
Yeah.
It's done very well, but it's very purposeful, as you say. It's like it's very deliberate in how it goes about it.
Yeah, it's not like fucking wasting your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know it's going somewhere, and then when it does go somewhere, it pays off, and you're like, oh yeah, love it.
That was
It's
right
like,
there.
oh, that's what I want.
That's
you know?
the stuff right there.
Yeah, that's what I come for, Park.
That's what I want, Chan. But like in this, like because like Old Boy's like thing about like revenge and stuff like that, like the whole like thing of like be it a sand, what was that line? Be it a grain of sand or a rock, both make a splash of water or something like that. Do you remember that line?
Oh, I can't remember, man.
Something a pebble or a boulder both splash the water or something along that line.
Yeah,
So it's just like
true.
it's like, oh, no matter like where you take part and like you know something fucking up or whatever, you bear some level of responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, Ode's song in Oh Boy, he did not deserve what happened to him.
No, that's bad out.
Like, fast forward 30 seconds if you haven't seen Old Boy. 3, 2, 1. Bro, just don't fuck your sister. Maybe that's a good idea. And
sister, yeah.
You know,
This
don't.
His daughter.
No.
His sister?
The bad guy. He's like, oh, you
yeah.
told everyone that I wanted to fuck my sister. I was like, yeah, obviously. You shouldn't fuck your sister in the first place.
You shouldn't have done it, bro. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Simple message. Simple moral.
Simple
of Old
moral.
Boy. Don't fuck your sister.
But like in Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, like both sides make complete sense for like what's going on, because like you understand why the deaf dude, I can't remember his name, why the deaf dude is doing what he's doing, and you also understand why the dad is doing what he's doing. You're like, this makes sense. Like I understand, and I have sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
Shit.
Yeah. And everything. But then just like, there's like a line where you take it too far, and stuff like that. There's a fucking great scene where like minor spoilers, but like the deaf dude comes back and he fucking takes out the organ donors, the organ takers, and like he's like,
organ takers.
There's a shot early on in the film where like he's like, you see him like practicing baseball, and then he basically like sets up an ambush for them where he's gonna take them out by himself. And he's like, one of the organ dudes is just like walking down a hallway, and he walks past him and then past him again, and then your man opens up a door and he talks to his mates, and then your man runs up behind him, jumps and just creams him in the back of the head with a baseball bat and just drops him immediately. And then he goes down and he takes out the other dude, and then he takes out the woman that like leads or whatever. But because like at that stage I was like, oh, he's gonna get fucked up by the dude, because like he's your man's gonna get up or whatever. But your man, the deaf dude, like pulls down the dude that he hit in the head, brings him down, and just wails on his head even further. So I was like, oh yeah, no, that
Fair.
dude's definitely fucking dead.
Fair. You know, Mr. Vengeance.
Yeah,
it's all there.
Doesn't fuck around.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want, though.
We want efficiency.
Yeah, baseball bat to the mush, you know.
Yeah,
Straight
it'll do it.
It'll do it. Yeah, it does a job 9 times out of 10. Forget the roundhouse kicks. Get the baseball bats out, you know. And you're laughing.
Forget the chairs.
Yeah, forget the fold-up chairs. They don't do anything.
Yeah,
you know?
you need a baseball bat.
You need a baseball bat.
But it's a good film all the way through. Maybe I feel like the end might be like kind of divisive. Where like I don't really want to spoil it, but like something is revealed, and you're just like, wow, I didn't expect that to be revealed. Kind of feels like a cop out that it is revealed to be like a true thing, but it's almost like, I don't know, it's a weird thing. I don't want to go into it too much, because I feel like a lot of people haven't seen Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. Like if anyone's watched any Park Chan-wook films, they've probably seen Old Boy.
Is it like an Old Boy kind of twist?
Oh no, it's completely different.
It's like just a cop out kind of thing,
Oh,
or
I mean,
shallow, more shallow, or more like you know the way Old Boy is like kind of like changed everything that came before.
Yeah.
This is more just like a little twist in the tail at the end.
Yeah,
like
kind
a
of.
little lashback.
There's like a line that a character says, and you're like, oh, they're lying, but that turns out to be true.
Ah, okay.
And but you wouldn't expect it to be true at all.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I mean, that neatly ties the film up in a nice little bow. But did I want it to be tied up in a nice little bow?
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck the bows.
Because like vengeance is kind of messy, you know. Revenge is messy.
Yeah.
It's messy business. But I don't know. It's good. Yeah, because like each one of the three is very, very different from one another. And like, you know, you're doing a trilogy of films, and they're all unique, they're all distinct, and they're all like very different stories.
Yeah.
Which is impressive considering that the whole theme of the whole trilogy is revenge.
Yeah.
You know?
Keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple. But the real reason why I know that each one of the parts is different is because I also watched Lady Vengeance, the third and final part of Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy. I watched Mr. Vengeance on Sunday night, and then on Monday night I watched Lady Vengeance, which is the only one that has a female protagonist. And this is kind of like it's like different to the other two, but similar in a lot of ways. The lead of Old Boy is in this as the villain.
Are they related? Is it related to Sympathy?
No, it's not. It's not.
I would have thought they were sequels.
Because no, they're completely separate. They just follow similar themes of
it's
like
just like
revenge.
a translation of the Korean title or something.
I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know. But like in Lady Vengeance, the deaf guy and from Mr. Vengeance, and again for the third time in a row this episode, Kang. So when you look up his name, it comes up as Sun Kang-Ho, but also
yeah, they reversed their names.
They reversed their name, so I think it's Kang-Ho Sung.
Yeah, Kang-Ho Song.
Yeah,
Kang-Ho Song.
He also shows up in this film for a little cameo, and so like the three guys are like and even like the villain of Old Boy also shows up in a cameo kind of position in Lady Vengeance for a minor role. So it's kind of like I don't know, there's a lot of like throwbacks to the old ones where you have like, you know, the leads of each one.
Yeah.
But in this one, they all get fucked up by Lady Vengeance. And this is like the one where you're like, you know, in the other ones, you know, is revenge ever justified? In this one, Park Chan-wook is just like, no, like, this is justified. This is when revenge is justified. And it's even like shown in the color palette of the film, where very slowly throughout the film, it turns into like very colorful at the start, and then it turns into black and white, where like when all the bad shit's happening, it's like, no, this is very black and white, and like literally and also like color wise.
Yeah.
It's really like I did not notice it until like the halfway point. I was like, oh shit, like the fucking color is like removing from the film. That's really cool.
Yeah, is it like, can you see it going, or is this like every cut? It's like
I think it's I don't know if it's every cut, but it's very gradual, and I didn't notice it up until a certain point where I was like, wait a second, this is like nearly black and white, and then it was black and white. I was like, that's very well done.
Yeah.
But apparently when it was first released in cinemas, it wasn't shown that way.
How was it shown? Just full color?
Just full color. So I don't know. It's something that he must have added in afterwards.
Yeah. Black and white buzz. When was this released?
2008.
2008. No, he's first.
2007.
First on the black and white train.
Yeah.
You know, before The Artist, before Mad Max.
For that bullshit.
He's doing what he wanted.
But like, so the reason why it's like more justified in this film is because it follows let's call her Lady V. Have no idea what
Lady Vengeance.
Lady Vengeance.
The titular character, the eponymous character.
Yeah, let's call her Lady V.
Lady V, yeah.
Lady V. That's a nice name.
Lady V. Lol.
And she's a woman that was like basically exploited by a man, by like a teacher figure, or whatever. And what he did was he convinced her, like, oh, let's kidnap a kid, like a la Mr. Vengeance, and if everything goes well, we'll give the kid back, whatever. But the guy ends up murdering the kid.
Yeah.
On purpose, and she ends up taking the fall for him. And then she comes out of prison. And she's like, "Here's my plan, and here's how we're gonna get him. How we're gonna get him back." And when she's in prison with all these women, she helps them all out in little ways, whatever. So this like collection of women all help her to take revenge on the man that did this, and in doing so, she also ends up killing like the leads of Mr. Vengeance and all that stuff. So it's interesting, and like he's a child killer, and the ending is like there's a collective thing in the ending of all these people like taking part in the murder of this child murderer, and it's very good. It's maybe probably the worst out of the trilogy, but that's not saying it's a bad movie at all. Like it's a great film as well. It's just not as good as, for me, not as good as Old Boy or Mr. Vengeance, but like, you know,
is it made up as like a conclusion to a trilogy? Is it carry that baggage?
It not even, I don't know, because like they're all very separate from each other. They're all very individual stories and don't have any reference to each other. But this one references the other two because it is the final in the trilogy, and the ending is like, you know, and the other two is like, is vengeance ever justified? But in this one's like, no. If it's a child killer, fuck that dude up, and it's completely okay.
There you go. The moral of the story: vengeance is okay.
Yeah. At the end, it's like you know, it's been fucking around for like 4 hours at this stage.
Yeah.
In terms of a trilogy, like, is vengeance ever justified?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the, you know, pedos and like child murderers, let's fuck them up. Let's do it together.
Of course. Yeah.
Which is like an interesting like conclusion to the trilogy. It's a weird movie though. It's kind of, each one of these films is like a film that you've never really seen before, but this one in particular, it has this like, at the start, it's like this really confusing narrative, like, because it's jumping back and forth between like her meeting a woman and then it cuts back to prison very suddenly, and it's like, here's how she helped them.
Yeah.
But like at the start, that didn't click in my head for whatever reason. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, oh, now I see what's going on. But it's good, and it has this thing where like it's like the glorifying of killers that you were mentioning earlier, where she's like a very, very beautiful woman, and like everyone's, I can't remember, they call her like good-hearted Lady V, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
They call her that, and like she has like a kind of cult following at the start because it's like, oh, and this 18-year-old girl kidnapped and murdered a child, and like there's a media storm about it, and stuff like that. So it's like this, like, you know, very literally like romanticizing a murderer, or what the public perceive to be a murderer. Although she does, you know, she's involved in the murder of the child as well because she did help in the kidnapping. But it also like kind of ends on, it's just like on a note where it's just like, you know, even vengeance, you cannot absolve yourself of your past, even if you know, right your wrongs, you've still committed your wrongs.
Yeah.
So can you ever fully redeem yourself?
Yeah. So you're stuck with that forever, you know. It's just like, yeah. It's like it's something that can't be undone, you know. Once it happens, it's like it's there.
Yeah.
It's etched in history.
And you just have to live with yourself with that.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, though.
It is very fucked up. It's because you know you can't really.
Yeah, you can never amend your wrongs.
Yeah,
that's pretty you know, terrifying. But
I mean, it's a terrifying world that we live in.
Yeah.
Child murderers and shit. But it's good, and again, the acting is fucking great in the film. This is the first one though where like, because he has an American film, like he's got an English language film called Stoker, I think it's called. I haven't seen it yet.
With your one with the face, the Polish one.
The Polish one.
She has like a Polish name. She's in Stoker. I think I know what you're talking about. I
think Jude Law's also in it.
Yeah. 2013. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen that though, but I've heard it's good.
I've heard it's good as well. But like in Lady Vengeance, there's a bit where she goes to America and she's speaking in English, which is interesting because obviously, you know, I was watching this with subtitles, but then when she goes to America, there are no subtitles, but all of a sudden, like on the screen, there's like Korean subtitles like ingrained into the film. I was like, It's like, Koreans, you don't understand this language.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
The roles have been reversed. Yeah, they have the same thing at the end of Memories of Murder, where they're relying. They have their main suspect, and they're relying on this. They're waiting for DNA results to come back, and they have to send it off to America, which is based on true events. But in real life, they had to send it off to Japan. But it comes back inconclusive.
Yeah.
And your man, Song, is reading it, and it's all in English, and you're like, yes, because it's just like it's all like Korean subtitles come up, and I'm like, wow, you know,
I can take a breather.
yeah. Stop reading. I was like sweating. I was like, thank God.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's so good.
But yeah, no, but I think that is like that thing that we talked about before, where like, you know, South Korean films are like very what's the word I'm looking for? Very digestible for like Western audiences, because it is like, you know, basically an American colony.
Pretty much, yeah.
Or at least it was. Maybe still is. I don't know.
Probably is. Man, you see their president was like a member of a cult and stuff.
No,
I can't remember her name. Something Moon. She was basically controlled by like a shaman woman. Like some of them still believe there's like this cult that believes in magic and stuff, and she was like part of that cult. And it turns out, like, she's one of those things where, like, I think she was like the daughter of like a former one of the powerful dictator figures or whatever. And she was like, no, I'm grand. It's like your one in you know, in Peru.
Yeah.
Where the daughter of like the worst person who ever ruled the country is like, I'm actually all right. You know?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I'll pardon my dad and all. And she's one of them, and she's like, I'm fine. But it turns out she's being like, she basically just deferred every decision she made to like this fucking crazy witch woman.
Fucking hell.
And like they're massive. There's like millions of people in the street in South Korea. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. You know, they're
fair.
It's crazy. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, because like, did you ever hear that stuff in like, God, is it Taiwan or Hong Kong? I think it's Taiwan maybe. They had this mad problem with like people getting involved in cults and stuff like that. And it was like very dangerous, because like I think it's that country. Maybe it's Taiwan. I think it's Taiwan. They don't have like a recognized like
state religion, like,
yeah, state religion. So anything can go, basically.
Anything goes.
And like
that's what happens.
And some of the biggest like religions are like, you know, they're cults because they're like, I don't know, man. Basically, all religions are basically cults if you really think about it. Like,
yeah. But you know the way in China they don't have it. They don't have like a main religion. They just have like Chinese like habits, basically.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of believe stuff, but like it's like a traditional kind of like folk beliefs.
Yeah, it's like a philosophy thing that they have there.
Yeah, but they had like
Confucianism. Is that what it's called?
Something like that. I don't know.
That's like
Stoicism, but like for Chinese people.
Yeah, or Taoism as well.
Taoism.
Is Taoism a religion, or is that like a philosophy?
I think it's both.
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
I think it's the same with Confucianism.
Yeah,
there's also Buddhism. Buddhism is also a philosophy.
Yeah, I suppose. They all just had like a better idea of religion, you know.
Yeah,
it's like, why don't you just be chill about it? You know?
Because Christianity isn't like that, nor is, as far as I know, like you know, Islam or Judaism.
Well, I suppose Jews are kind of. They don't have like a head.
But I mean like a philosophy. Like people would study Buddhism as a philosophy, or Taoism, or is that just Westerners being like, it's a philosophy or whatever?
I suppose they would look at like Western humanism as just like Christianity. Like, you know, the way there's arguments that like the modern nation state is like, or even like capitalism as like a work ethic, as like something you're compelled to do work in the name of this like sort of abstract concept, as rooted in Protestantism.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like maybe they'd see it that way. I don't know. Maybe that's what the whole, you know, Chinese Communist Party is all about. They're like, these fucking idiots over here, you know, capitalists, they're God. Protestantism debunked. Because I remember reading something before that was like, so like there's like a common factor amongst like the poorest countries in the world, and one of them is that like the poorest countries in the world are always like the most like religious. Yeah.
But the only exception to that being America, being one of the most religious countries in the world, but its religion being extremely materialistic, and that aiding how it's like a fucking, you know, financial fucking dominance.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, it is really weird.
Very strange.
Which I imagine is because of the Protestantism thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of baked into their society to the point where you don't really think about it at all.
Yeah, it's an ideology.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because in China, they still have mad cults and stuff in China. I know like the Falun Gong and all. There's a big crackdown on that recently, or not recently, like the past few decades, where there's people like joining up to this cult, or like folk religion or whatever, that had like sort of a structure to it. So the Communist Party saw this as a threat to its power, like state power. So they cracked down on it and like they fucking imprison people and torture people.
Fuck, maybe it's China that I'm thinking of then. Maybe it is China that I'm thinking of.
It might be China, yeah.
Because they had a thing called the White Terror.
The White Terror.
I think that's what it was called.
That sounds like Taiwan, because Taiwan would be like, the White Terror is always like a right wing reaction to.
Yes, yeah, I think yeah.
So they'd be like against the communists and stuff.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was Taiwan that had that, but they also have mad cults in Taiwan as well.
Yeah.
Mad.
What's going on over there?
Yeah. I mean, like fucking, religion's basically cults.
It pretty much is. It's all a lot of fucking, make believe. Leave them be.
Does Ireland still have blasphemy laws? Do we still have that?
I'm pretty sure we got rid of that.
Yeah.
In the referendum there recently.
Yeah, because
the last referendum. We had something about it, didn't we?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It was that the one that was like tied in with the
remember
the LA
one person put up their hand or something. And
that fucking Egypt.
Yeah. Everyone else is like, who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Oh no.
Well, actually, fuck off. Who gives a shit? To be fair, he's the only right wing person in the fucking room, basically.
In the fucking campus, yeah. Well, yeah.
No, yeah, because I was listening back to like an old podcast for one of the things I listened to, but they were talking about like the Louis Theroux Scientology documentary couldn't be shown wasn't shown in Ireland, or wasn't distributed because of our blasphemy laws.
That's
like back in 2015, whatever it was.
Back in the day. Yeah, 'cause they have a few offices here, They have a whole, like, campus.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a proper modern, like, kind of, like, complex.
It's got Scientology written on the side of it as well.
Yeah. But, like, they got planning permission and all. Like why would you do that,
Because,
why would you let them do that?
Why? Because I think it's...
They already have offices on Abbey Street and stuff,
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
No, because they have, like, a proper... It looks like a fucking... like an office building, or it looks like a modern kind of like community center, but it's just a Scientology church or whatever, or office or administrative center. But they have offices on Abbey Street, that you can go into, and like sometimes people stand outside it.
I would love to like see what goes on there.
I'd love to go. I sort of want to go in and see what happens, see if they can like break me,
Yeah,
if they can if they can persuade me, or I feel like maybe I get like, drugged or something.
Yeah, I wonder, because, like, is there possible for you to, like, enter in and not have to, mortgage your house to get into the cults and stuff like that? I don't know.
See what it's like.
Because, the Louis Theroux documentary wasn't shown here because they were like, yeah, it's a cult, but, they got, they make millions. Tom Cruise is like, in that and shit, and like, and stuff like all the Hollywood elites and shit are all there. So like, they'll probably sue. They'll be able to find some legal loophole in Ireland. So I don't think the producers, I think the BBC or something did it, but they weren't arsed shown in Ireland because they're like, fuck that.
Yeah,
can be arsed just in case. But that's Ireland's weird. Ireland's such a weird country.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I remember watching some documentaries in religion class in secondary school about cults in Ireland. There's one in Galway or something, this like little town. There's like a massive proportion of them are involved in this cult. It's like you buy statues of Mary. It is like
Knock.
Is that what it is?
Like the Knock Shrine, where like it was like someone saw the Virgin Mary apparently back in like the 50s or 60s. They have an airport and all, Knock Airport. I don't know. Yeah, I know one, the Screamers. Ever hear of the Screamers?
No.
It was a cult that was up in Donegal, and they had like a few houses, but basically it was kind of like a fucking, it was like a nunnery basically. It was just women, and the house was like run by like one like sort of head woman. Yeah. And she was like a brutal fucking bitch. She's just like, there's like loads of stories of abuse and stuff about it. But their whole like their belief was that you could purge yourself through screaming. So this town in Donegal was basically invaded by a load of crazy women who just screamed.
Yeah.
Just like screamed as loud as they possibly could. Which sounds amazing, to be honest.
To be fair, there is something cathartic about when you scream.
Yeah. But you never get an opportunity to scream because people would think you're insane, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously these women had an excuse, like God was like speaking through them.
Yeah.
But like, I think everyone has a time when they just like to like scream as loud as they possibly can.
Well, we scream now. Do you want to grab the pillows?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No. Oh no. But it sounds alright, like except for all the abuse.
I would scream, but my mom would come up and give out to us.
Yeah.
What the fuck fuck are you doing?
We're screamers now. Mom, I'm a screamer, alright?
Remember that time after the after the podcast one time, like
we
one
started deep throating the
we
mics.
deep throat the mics going.
Yeah, it was like 1:30 in the morning.
Max comes in, what the fuck are you doing?
We should have kept that.
We should have kept that.
Deleted scenes.
That was good content.
That was.
I just want to ruin some people's ears.
Yeah. Ah, it was alright,
It's
was
grand. Don't worry about
We
it.
had the muffler on, so.
Yeah, the mufflers are fine. The mufflers.
Isn't that what it's called? I don't know. Fucking
Pop
muffler.
mic, is that what it's called?
Pop mic.
Oh yeah. I don't. Yeah, remember we have the pop mics? They don't fucking.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
They came out with this fucking. We have a whole fucking stand here, and the pop mics never fucking fit onto the stand that it came with.
Yeah, those jokes.
Oh, the bollocks.
Fuck that.
But yeah, what else? I watched one other film this week. I watched little David Cronenberg's little son, Brandon Cronenberg's 2020 film, Possessor. I think it might have been 2019, but I think it's 2020. I don't know. It's something around
It's all
that
the
time.
same these days.
It's all the same. So whatever.
Possessor. What's Possessor about?
Possessor is set in an alternate 2008 where basically it's like a sci-fi world, but we follow a elite assassin, and what they do is they'll kidnap someone close to the target and implant a little chip into their head, and then off in some other remote location their assassin will put on a headset and take over the person's body and, you know, commit the murder, and so there's never a trace brought back to them or anything like that. Wow, fucking hell, this is a bloody fucking movie. Holy shit.
Bloody.
Like,
well, what kind of scale? What reference we working with?
well, the most violent thing that happens in the movie is there's a fucking fire poker, is that what it's called?
Say no more.
Someone gets beaten with that.
Oh.
It's then stabbed into their mouth.
No.
Twisted.
No.
And then yanked out, and, you know, a couple of teeth come out with it.
You see the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Teeth are the worst.
Teeth are the worst. Teeth
are the
and
worst.
nails. I can't handle that.
Nails. I don't mind nails too much. Have you ever had a nail come off?
Oh, yeah, no, I have. When I
I've
was
never had
younger.
that, so I'd say it'd be worse if I
My
had.
toenails.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had it when I was a kid.
that's rotten.
Yeah, rotten.
Toenails falling off.
Yeah, because I used to play rugby, and I got fucking stomped on my big toe, and there's a bruise underneath the toe,
Yeah.
and it came up and it pushed the nail out. Oh man, it was rotten.
Horrible.
Horrible. It's like pulling out a tooth.
Yeah, the teeth thing is worse though. It's like that's one of the most common dreams, isn't it, where your teeth fall out? I have them
Yeah.
all the time.
Man, I remember having braces, and I saw a photo of something I punched in the mouth, and the braces like were still connected to the teeth, but the teeth, oh man, it was rotten.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrible. Oh, I hate it. I hate teeth and I hate nails. I would love to watch When the Shakes the Barley again, but I just don't want to go through that fucking torture scene.
Yeah. Those Brit bastards.
Oh.
What they did. Man, did you know sometimes when women are pregnant, their teeth can fall out?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like all their teeth can fall out.
Why?
Because the amount of progesterone or estrogen
Yeah.
it like loosens the muscles or something in your mouth. And so like your teeth can fall out. But like it's not, it'll usually be most of them because it's like a uniform kind of thing. So like not only will their teeth fall, like not only will they be pushing out like a little human, but their teeth will fall out and shit like that. Like that is Cronenberg. But it's
Why
real.
is
But it's real.
so fucking.
Why is it so traumatic?
Why
like?
is it so fucked up? Like?
Why didn't evolution make it easier? You know?
Yeah, why can't it just be like fucking? I don't know, like. What animal gives birth and don't? There's some animals that give birth and don't even notice it.
Yeah, they just shit out the
Just
baby.
like, oh, there you go.
It's like those fish, you just in the documentaries, they just shit out a few tadpoles and just
Yeah.
swim away like.
Swim away.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, poor women. We should treat them better.
Oh,
They have to go through all that shit.
Absolutely. Fucking hell, like.
But yeah, that's the most like fucking squeamish thing that happens in the film. But like that's like the worst thing in it. But the main bit of horror from it is just the idea of like she takes over some dude's head, and the person's like, oh, you're gonna have to cause an argument with the dad, and like it's just like imagining that happening to you, where like someone else is controlling your body and making your life worse, and like the worst, like committing murders and like completely like ruining your life.
Mm.
And there's something really scary about that.
Yeah.
But then, you know, that's that's the horror side of it. But then the other side of it is that the guy that she's taken over is like fighting back, and she's losing herself in his head. And there's like a fucking amazing sequence where like there's all these like dysmorphia kind of montages that go on, where like she's in the head and like the face doesn't look right, or like there's actually the best one of the best bits in the film is when she's transmuting herself into his head, and I don't know how it's like a wax face that like reverse melts into another face.
Yeah.
But it looks like wax kind of. I don't know. It just looks amazing. The visuals in this film are amazing, and it's like giallo colors is what I saw one Letterboxd review call, and I was like, that's it. Like there's like pinks and reds and purples and shit like that. Looks amazing. Very, very beautiful, but also very brutal movie. Bit slow in like a kind of way, like not purposefully. You're just like, this is just slow and nothing's really happening.
How long is it?
90 minutes. So like
that's grand.
It's grand.
It's just slow.
It's just slow.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Methodical.
Yeah, it's not even methodical. You're just like, come on.
It's just slow.
Slow. Like it's just like I don't know. Something about it. It's a bit slow. But it's kind of like one of my mates, Neil. Shout out to Neil Riley for listening. Not Neil Wall. Neil Riley.
Fuck you, Neil.
Fuck
Wall.
Neil. In his Letterboxd review, he was like, I feel like it's like a short it's like a short film concept that was expanded out. But I feel like it's expanded out enough to like be interesting, but like it could be even. I don't know, if there's something else going on to the film, it would be even better.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
But as it is, it's very, very good. Really fucked up. Like the visuals in this film are fucking mad, and it's not even like it's not body horror, which I like that. Like David Cronenberg's son isn't doing body horror. He's like doing like mental horror.
Yeah, psychological or something.
Yeah, it's not
metaphysical.
Like his psychological horror is like this is like a psychological horror film, but like it's a weird take on psychological horror. Like it's like a dysmorphia film.
Yeah. Sci-fi kind of thing.
And it's brutal. Like it's bleak. Like it's fucking bleak at the end.
Is there a happy ending though?
No.
Jeez,
No.
what? Cronenberg.
Oh no.
You're at it again.
It's like the Fly. You know that the Fly doesn't have a happy ending. It's like that.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's just like, oh well.
Yeah.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah, Cronenberg, he doesn't like his happy endings, which is the way to do it, you know.
Yeah. Horror shouldn't have a happy ending.
Yeah, it's always like, fucking forget about the happy. Yeah, like you don't want that,
Yeah,
because it's supposed to be horrifying, and it's more interesting when there's no happy ending.
It's the same thing in like Halloween and Texas Chainsaw. Like those films don't have happy endings.
Yeah, it's just kind of like deferred.
Yeah, it's just like, well, here's the end of the story, but like the story kind of keeps going, but like
you don't see that.
You don't see it, so you're just left in like a state of like, fucking everything is wrong.
Yeah.
And that's the way that this film kind of ends as well. It's like, oh Jesus, this is wrong, and they do it in a really interesting like bookmarking kind of way. I'm not gonna give it away, but like they do it in a nice interesting bookmarking way, where the start of the film has this test thing, and then the end of the film has another test, and like things are different, and you're like, jeez, something's wrong. Can't quite put my finger on it.
Like the thing in Inception.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, a little bit like that. And it's like, oh well, ooh,
that's not good.
That's not good.
Yeah, I want to watch this now. What's on Shudder?
Shudder has some good films.
Yeah.
It
has a few bangers.
Has a lot of shite, but then it has a few absolute fucking bangers.
That's just the genre. That's just the territory, isn't it?
That's just horror.
That's just movies.
Yeah.
That's just life, bro.
That's so profound. No,
there we go.
I wanted to watch. You ever heard that film High Tension or Switchblade Romance is what it's called in Europe?
No.
It's like a French extremity movie.
Count me out.
And I wanted to watch it because it's like a fucking. It's like has apparently like one of the bloodiest scenes of all time, where like a guy is in a fucking. He's in a car and someone's wielding like a hacksaw. Is that what it is? Like
a hacksaw,
like a buzzsaw,
yeah,
and it's like goes into the car and just keeps going and gets to him, and just fucking blood just splatters everywhere. Apparently, it's a kind of shit movie though, because there's a twist in it, and you're like, that logically makes no sense because of what happened earlier on in the film. So, wary of that. But he's also the guy that directed the Hills Have Eyes remake.
Isn't that shy?
I've heard it's shit. I've also heard it's really fucked up and disturbing. Because it's by a French extremity director.
Yeah, I just know that scene where like she's in like a portaloo and she's covering shit, or like she's covering cuts and stuff.
Ew.
I just remember that because I've never seen the film, but I know that scene is there.
Yeah.
Because I think I watched it or I read about it when I was younger, or I saw it, like
loads of diseases.
yeah, it's like she's dead
Yeah.
basically, but like she's not dead yet because she's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, she's got fucking.
covered in shit and stuff.
She's septic. Is that what you call that?
Yeah, you get sepsis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Shit buzz.
I saw what you did there.
But they have High Tension on Shudder. I was
Mm.
like, oh, I'm gonna watch that, and I clicked onto it, and then it was dubbed, and I was like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah, what's like that whole debate like dub versus sub.
Yeah.
Who are the absolute freaks who like prefer dubs?
Like, I understand it in like anime where like the mouth is just opening and closing, and you can't really like notice a difference. But in films, like, I'm gonna notice the fact that the fucking the shape of the mouth does not match up with the words coming out of it.
Yeah,
And that's gonna fucking piss me off. Like, I knocked it on, and immediately, and you can hear it as well. You can hear when it's a dub.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you can't hear it. Yeah,
Like, there's a difference in like the quality of audio or something. I don't know. I was like, no, I'm not
it's like the
watching this.
actors aren't, because like if you're like who are the people who do dubs? Who just voice act live action films.
I have no idea.
You're not looking at a great pool of talent
Mm.
right there. Like the good voice actors will be doing like voice acting work and other stuff, I assume.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're
I don't
doing
know.
animated films or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just talking out my arse
Yeah.
pretty much. But like, anytime I've seen like a dub film, it just, you can tell without looking at it.
But it's also like, it's gonna be extremely difficult because like you're if you're dubbing over someone else's performance, you're trying to match their physical performance,
That's the thing. Yeah,
which is obviously extremely difficult to do.
yeah.
Because it's just like, I don't know, it's like you're just like, imagine like a scene playing out here and like someone's getting murdered, and then all of a sudden you hear like that's the fucking scream that you hear. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Like, it's just like trying that at home or something like
Yeah.
that. Like
We should dub over films.
a Sopranos episode or something.
Man,
Just doing like just
hey T,
just every line, like, or like they could do it.
gabba
They could do like dub sessions, like voice recordings, where they like physically reenact the films. So it's basically, they could just film that, because
I
that
dunno,
would get a way
yeah.
better performance.
But the thing is though that like, it's like if you like say like fucking, we have Robert De Niro fucking
Yeah.
acting on screen, or no right, but fucking Jesus, James Gandolfini.
yeah,
He said before that like the way that he like used to act is like learn off his lines and really focus on the physical aspects of it, right? But like, I'm like, no one else is gonna be as good as a physical actor as him, because like,
he's the originator.
yeah. And so like the problem therefore is like, how is anyone else meant to match up with his physical, acting with just their voice? Like his voice is matching his physical, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
voice his dialogue and the way that he performs his dialogue matches up with his physical acting. So how are you as an outsider coming in and then dubbing in over it gonna match up to that? It's not possible.
It can't be done.
It can't be done.
It can't be done.
Yeah, unless you're fucking like the greatest fucking voice actor of all time. But even at that, how are you gonna do it?
It's not gonna be authentic.
I also just don't want to watch a fucking French movie where someone's just speaking of fucking with American accents.
Even if you put all the effort in, it's still not gonna match the mouth. Like, there's no point putting in all that effort.
You ever watch fucking SpongeBob, where like the Irish SpongeBob and stuff like that?
It doesn't match.
No, it's really it's like
doesn't make
jarring.
It doesn't make sense. How does that not match? Like, surely they could find, I don't know.
They always overact as well when they're voice acting. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, Squidward,
fucking hell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Voice acting's interesting though.
Yeah, we should get into it.
You should.
I feel like we got the voices for. I feel like we could have like some kind of animated series, some kind of buddy cop thing.
Jesus, that we fucking off
like
about.
like a Rick and Morty for the 2020s.
Man, we have a subpar podcast. I don't even I don't want to know what the fucking.
All we need is a script. All we need is a script.
Yeah,
Hey,
what are you talking
hey.
about, Mark? We have a script in front of us. All this is scripted.
Of course.
Don't
yes.
don't break the illusion.
No illusions here.
Every mumble, every stumble, that's all planned.
It's all deliberate. You know, we don't make mistakes
No.
on this podcast.
We never do
In
any
general,
editing.
in life, we've never made mistakes.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't back down from anything I've ever said in this.
I regret everything I ever said. This. Like,
With it, every time I listen to it again, I'm like, why did I say that?
oh man, I went back and I listened to like one of the old episodes like a while ago because I was like, I wanted to hear you talking about multiple maniacs.
That's not even that old. That's like 2 months, isn't it?
It's 3 months at this stage. Man,
Is it?
that was like at the start of the year.
Was it?
That was our Pride episode. No, wait, that was
Our
our
Pride episode.
our Pride episode. Our fucking our Paddy's Day episode.
Was it?
Yeah, so yeah, 3 months ago.
Jeez.
And I heard myself talk and I was like, oh, shut the fuck up.
I'm the exact same.
Hey,
Yeah.
listening back to your own voice is fucking
It's
awful.
disgusting. It's like looking at.
It's like a form of dysmorphia.
Yeah. Anytime I see a picture of myself or listen to like my voice, it's like, what the fuck is that? That guy's such a mug, you know.
Who is this fucking pleb?
Yeah, who is that guy? But that's the thing. That's the thing, you
It's
know.
nature of the beast.
Nature of the beast, nature of life.
Let someone just take over our brains while we're doing this. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Possessor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was someone else, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, about
That was-
last night. That was actually someone else.
That was someone else trying to fuck up my life. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, Possessor's a very upsetting movie. Very upsetting movie. It's really good though. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Brandon Cronenberg. Continuing on. There's something wrong with the Cronenberg family though. Jesus fucking Christ.
Canadians.
Canadians, man. There's something in the water there.
Something weird up there.
I know that we changed when he came back from that fucking
We all changed.
that hell island.
Hell Island.
It's a big ass island.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, sure. Go for a break.
Yes, shout.
We break in. If you want to ask us a question or feedback, anything like that, you can get to us at paro_pod on Insta or on Twitter. You can also get to us via email at theparabot@gmail.com. We welcome emails.
We accept all forms of questions.
Letters.
You can ask us. Oh, yeah, send us a letter. You send it to the
Paropod PO Box
Yeah.
gpo.ie.
gpo.ie.
Oh, whatever, you know what I mean.
Whatever. Yeah,
D1.
just send it to the GPO. Just walk into the GPO and hand them a letter and say, this is for the Paropod. And the people at the GPO are like, we hear you. We get it.
Yeah.
They know who we are.
Then there's a controlled demolition, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, this is clearly some kind of Unabomber thing, you
Yeah.
know? Well, you have to walk in sunglasses with your hoodie open.
Yeah, this is clearly like, this is either a Unabomber or this is some fucking serial killer trying to get his message out.
Yeah.
Our first question's coming in from Jenny, and Jenny's asking us, what are our favorite animated films?
Favorite animated films? It has to be Food Fight.
Food Fight.
No,
man.
no.
Fucking hell. Jesus, what's that last week? Fucking hell.
That's a great film, though.
It is. I recommend everyone watch it.
Great,
It's on YouTube.
great takedowns on YouTube.
Mm.
But a great best animated. My favorite animated film, Fox and the Hound.
Fox and the Hound. Oh, really?
Well,
I
it's
know, because I was
one
about
that
to,
comes to mind.
I was about to throw out a caveat and say we can't talk about Shrek 2 for like the fucking millionth time on this episode,
Yeah.
on this podcast.
I suppose there's like CGI. You know,
Yeah, well-
and then there's like traditional animation,
Yeah, traditional animation.
trad animation.
I really like traditional animation. It's just something like
Iron Giant.
Iron Giant.
Iron
Yeah,
Giant.
Iron Giant's classic.
That's because that's parts. The Iron Giant is CGI, in a way, which is a cool synthesis.
Yeah,
That's just an amazing film.
yeah.
It's such
Great
an amazing
fucking
film.
Holy shit.
You know that last scene, man. Every time,
Has you in tears.
I'd be bawling.
Yeah.
You know,
Do be balling, bro.
I do be bawling.
I
Man.
do be balling.
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about Perfect Blue like eons ago at this stage.
yeah.
I love Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue's great. Fox and him. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Stop motion. Love that film.
Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
That's such a good movie,
That
man.
actually is.
Really, really
It's
good
really
film.
good.
Really, really good.
It still holds up, I think.
Yeah, no, it does.
Ah,
It does. I watched it. I went through all the Wallace and Gromits during lockdown. All the shorts. They're all really good as well.
What's it on?
It was on Netflix at the time. Netflix
Ah.
had them all. I don't know if it still does. A Close Shave is still really good.
I don't remember that.
The one with no, sorry, The Wrong Trousers. The one with the penguin is the one I'm thinking of.
The Wrong Trousers. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got a penguin. He wears a little fucking rubber glove as his hat.
Chicken Run. Ever watch Chicken Run?
Man, I used to watch Chicken Run on video all the time. I had that on
So
loop
good.
constantly.
So it's disturbing though.
Yeah, it is, man. It's really fucked up.
It's like a concentration camp, pretty much.
It's just a Great Escape, which is a concentration camp
Oh yeah, it's Auschwitz, but like
for chickens.
for chickens. Yeah.
I used to fucking adore Dumbo, and then I had a conversation with a few of the boys, and they're like, have you seen Dumbo recently? I was like, no, why did I see Dumbo recently? And they're like, it's super racist. And I was like, really?
What?
Oh my fucking god, it is.
For what?
Well, firstly, you have like the crows who are just like, it's just like
They're just black.
like they're just
black
people.
Yeah.
And but there's a fucking like they're like thieves or something. I can't remember. But like they're like really, I can't really. I didn't watch that point, but the real super racist part of it is that there's a scene where they're like setting up the tent in the rain and they sing a song, and it's like all black people, like all these big burly black men that are like setting up the tent, and they're singing about, we work all day, we don't know how to read and stuff like that. I was like, oh Jesus
What?
Christ!
I don't remember that at all.
I did not remember that at all, and I clicked it on. I was like, oh fuck!
Did that survive in the recent reboot?
I don't
wonder.
think so. Imagine.
Yeah.
Did you just have Danny DeVito just with a fucking whip?
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah, Dumbo. I used to love Dumbo. Maybe not anymore. I love Aladdin. I still like Aladdin. Aladdin's kind of racist, but I still like it.
A whole new world.
Just that fucking, and the genie and stuff like that.
The genie.
Yeah, I've heard before that Aladdin like mixes in loads of different like Middle Eastern cultures,
Yeah.
like Persian and like or like Afghanistan and stuff like that. They're all the same.
It's based on like Arabian Nights.
Yeah, but it's based on is Arabian Nights written by like an Englishman or something like that?
No, I think that was like a proper. I can't. It was like Nagazarizad or something like that. One of those like long
Yeah.
names from over there. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. Well, I think it is like a proper classic text or classic folklore.
But I know that like when Disney did it though, they mixed in like different cultures into it because they're like,
Yeah,
like-
they're all the same.
they're all the same.
Yeah,
East.
they're pretty much the same. Like,
So still like Aladdin though. What else?
Spirit with the horse. Ever watched that?
Oh yeah,
just
that's
like
an
that film.
extra vision film for me.
Yeah.
I can't remember it though, but I do.
Prince of Egypt.
What was that?
Prince of Egypt. Moses, all the boys.
Yeah, man,
It was like
that was
the Red
super
Sea and
dark
stuff.
as well. Holy
Mm.
shit, when all the kids get fucking butchered,
Yeah.
that was fucked up.
That's a true story, man.
It is, yeah. The Bible.
From the Bible. That means it's true. If it was in the Bible, it's true.
I mean, it's fact.
It's pretty much a fact. Look it
Debate
up.
me, bro.
Look it up.
I got my source. Do you have yours?
You got nothing.
What is some other like? I'm trying to think.
Watership Down.
I haven't seen
I haven't seen
Watership
it
Down.
either.
I really wanted to watch it though.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I've heard of Plague Dogs. Plague Dogs is really fucked up. I haven't seen
Plague
that.
Dogs. What's that? About dogs?
It's about dogs that escape a testing facility, and they get
Ah,
they're basically getting tortured there, and then they escape into the outer wild, the wilderness,
yeah.
and maybe the wilderness is a little bit worse than the testing facility. It's just a bleak fucking film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it though. I don't want to watch dogs getting fucked up.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to see man's best friend getting done dirty.
Yeah. Scooby Doo and Zombie Island. Talking about.
Yeah. That is a good film.
It is.
I wouldn't say it's the best ever though.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's still great though. Megamind. Really good.
I haven't seen it. I remember you're always saying I should watch it.
Yeah, you should. Very, very good.
Yeah. I've heard a few people say it's really good.
Subverts the superhero genre, especially now in a Marvel in a Marvel world.
That's on Netflix, isn't it?
It
Probably is.
I think it is.
Or Prime.
No, it is. It is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix has loads of the DreamWorks ones. So they all have
Mm.
the Shreks and all now.
Yeah, they got the Shreks now. Yeah.
Mm.
I hate how they just like keep swapping them back and forth. It's so annoying.
It's irritating.
Yeah, just have
Keep
one,
it there, bro.
Have one app. We need to nationalize Netflix and Amazon and Disney.
What's your favorite Pixar movie?
Monsters Inc. Or The Incredibles.
I think I'll go with The Incredibles.
Monsters Inc. is so sad though at the end.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I cry every time. The Incredibles is great though, because like, it's just so cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Dash.
Dash was always the coolest.
He's always the cool guy. Everyone would be Dash, but like
Yeah.
all the powers are so cool. Every set piece is amazing, like with the plane and stuff.
Mm.
So
yeah,
good.
it's so
And
good. Yeah.
the evil island.
I love it. Like, it's just like, oh, it's like, are we there? It's like, we'll get there when we get there. It's fucking hauling ass through the city.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
What other animated film? Animation, man, is just because we talked about this with when we talked about Perfect Blue, we were talking about like adult animation
Yeah.
in terms of like not like Family Guy and like sex and shit, but like what are some like adult? We were talking about one. I remember one came back to me and I forgot it. Anomalisa, Charlie Kaufman film. That's stop motion as well though. That's really good. Have you seen that?
I have not yet.
I recommend.
Yeah. Adult animation. I haven't. I don't know. I think that's the domain of the
It really
the
is,
Japanese.
It
I
really,
don't know.
it is.
Yeah, I don't know much Western adult animation. This is The Simpsons.
Yeah, Simpsons. The
Simpsons
Simpsons movie.
It's good. It's
It is good.
It's the last hurrah.
Yeah.
Simpsons
movie is very good. I really like this
It actually
movie.
is. Yeah.
It still holds up.
Hits all the beats.
Yeah,
But they're gonna make
Bart's dick. It's great.
Yeah, that was such a great reveal.
Yeah.
In the cinema.
It's such a shock.
It's a great way to. It's like it's a stupid joke, but it's such a great way to open it because you don't expect it to happen. It was like, oh, this is a movie.
Yeah,
this is in the
movie.
cinemas.
You can get away with it.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the cinema. I remember watching that in cinema so well. But yeah, that's a good one. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of any more.
Yeah.
Animation's good. I like animation.
Yeah.
When it's done good, it's done good. I haven't seen Spirited Away.
Yeah. There's a few of them. I want to watch the Mr. Layton series, man. I used to love that video game.
There's a series of them.
Yeah, Professor Layton.
Yeah, Professor. Yeah.
Professor Layton. I used to love those games. There's like movies.
Didn't know that.
I suppose they're probably just like Pokemon movies and stuff. It's more like it's more about the video game than it is the art of film or whatever. But I still want to watch them.
Pokemon, man. Pokemon was used. Remember, it's the first film. First film was very good.
Yeah, with the Mewtwo and all.
Yeah. Good shit. Good shit. Hook that shit to my veins. Just like our question to the listener, which is about piracy. We asked you, what are your thoughts on piracy? Is piracy ever okay? Is it not okay? General thoughts on piracy. What do you think?
Our first response coming in from Neil Wall. He says, "Nice try, Garda." Nice one, Neil.
Damn it.
We got you.
Fuck. Well, we know
Cuff
that we know that Neil pirates things then.
Oh yeah, bake 'em away, toys.
Yeah.
And then
Garda fucking rats.
fuck the Garda, man. Unpopular opinion, but fuck the Garda.
ACAB. Do you ever think about how ACAB is like a right wing thing in Ireland?
Yeah, it's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird because like we've a unique. I think we've quite a unique kind of setup here. A lot of time people get too, I don't know. They feel like it should translate directly from like America or even the continent.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I think it's a whole unique thing in itself. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense that like, it's like all the fucking loony, right wing people who are like, the guards can't be trusted, Well, yeah, you're right, but like you're right in the wrong way.
Yeah.
You're right for the wrong reasons.
But those people would say the opposite though, and it's about like the George Nenko
In
Kenko.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh yeah, about anything that wasn't that sort of like inconvenienced them,
Yeah.
Or there was like, or evictions and stuff like that. They never say anything about evictions, even though like you have like thugs, like paramilitaries basically going in and like fucking people up just to save a few quid for like landlords and stuff. Most of those landlords don't live here.
Yeah.
Which is like you'd expect would be fertile ground for these kinds of people, but they don't care. They only care about whatever they read on Facebook.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And
then Isabel also responded. She's saying, "Steal as much and as often as you want, as long as it's not a small or family business."
Facts. If you're fuck these big fucking torrent Disney as much as you fucking want, fuck them.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Pirate the shit out of that type of stuff.
See, there's no small producers. There's no small production companies.
I mean,
Really?
I wouldn't.
Well, independents maybe.
Yeah, like I wouldn't.
In terms of streaming,
Like, you know, yeah, if it's on a streaming service, you know, whatever. Like, you know,
I'm not paying for that. You know,
yeah, fuck that. If you're gonna be exclusive with your, you know, like
I pay for most of them.
like
to be fair.
HBO
I'm such a
Max,
hypocrite. Yeah,
and stuff
HBO
like
Max.
that,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
fuck yourself. If it's only on HBO Max, you can go fuck yourself. I'm just gonna pirate that shit.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like, what's that? Oh, man, we talked about this Irish company before. The ones that did Wolf Walkers and Breadwinner. If they come out with something, I'll pay for it.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
Also,
yeah.
because it's an Irish studio, I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. Keep it in house. You know,
keep it in the family, you know.
Keep it in the fam. Yeah. But ripping off indie films is a bit bad out. You know, you should always try to pay for them when you can.
Yeah.
Um,
But the thing is as well, like, if it's not accessible, fuck them.
if it's not accessible, yeah, that's their fault. They can't complain really.
Yeah.
Because like it's better that someone watches it than that they don't. You know, I
Yeah.
don't think really independent filmmakers would care.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing because they know the game they're in.
And they're not making movies to make money. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of them. Well, I hope a lot of them aren't like, oh, you fucking rat. You talked about my movie on your podcast, but didn't pay for it. Go fuck yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah. Actually, I watched an Irish movie, A Dark Song. Very good horror film.
I haven't heard of it.
I think you should watch it. I think it's very good.
Mm.
It's about it's a woman, like it's about grief basically. A woman trying to like make contact with her dead son, and it's like sort of like occult, satanic vibes and stuff. And they go off to like a house in the middle of Ireland and try to commune with the devil. It's very good, but I paid for that. I was
Good.
like, I'm paying for this because
Yeah.
I could have watched it. But I was like, no, €3.
Yeah.
Have it.
That's the thing, man. I've paid like since like I realized that like YouTube and like Rakuten, like I can just fucking pay like 3-4 quid or whatever. Like if it's 4 quid, I'm like, but like 3 quid, 2 or 3 quid. I'm like,
Yeah.
absolutely, obviously I'll rent it then. But if it's not on those sites and it's not on Netflix and it's not on, you know, the basic ones like Amazon, whatever, I'm just like, fuck off. I'm not buying a Blu-ray or a DVD of this shit.
So
I want to watch
expensive.
it now. And what if I don't like it?
Exactly, yeah. What a waste of money, you
Yeah.
know. It's like they're struggling for their funds. You know, we're struggling out here for real, you know.
Yeah.
We need the money, you know. 20 we don't really need the money, but like, you know, 20 quid, it's like,
Yeah.
and if you don't like it, you're like,
I have this thing that I don't want.
I've just spent basically 2 hours, you know, that's 2 hours labor pretty much
Yeah.
in Ireland right now. Not only have I wasted 2 hours watching this film, I've also wasted 2 hours of my life
You wasted
that
4 hours.
that I spent. Yeah, you've doubled your wastage. You know, it's just unacceptable. But like most films are reasonably priced. Like you have stuff like Judas and Black Messiah, which I think is an independent film to an extent, but they charge like 22 quid. But it's an Oscar film, so it doesn't matter. Just pirate it because they already made enough money off that pretty much. So, you know, fuck that. If it's an Oscar film or if it's a well-known film, forget about it.
Yeah, and I think an important note as well is that like industries don't survive without like piracy. Like Netflix and like streaming sites and all that stuff are only about as a response to piracy online.
Yeah, or Spotify and stuff.
Yeah. Like that's like because the market was there. Like I fucking hate pirating things. The sites are always shit. I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna get some fucking virus or something. I don't actually want to do this. I would much rather pay for it. But if it's not fucking accessible, and I want to watch it, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna just fucking pirate it. But afterwards, if I like it, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Which is what Neil Riley says: the unlawful evil. If you know, watch it, you know, for free or whatever, but then support the thing afterwards.
Yeah.
If you like it.
Yeah, if you like, yeah. Yeah, it's like the honor system.
Yeah.
It's like, if, you know, give what you can or something like that.
Yeah.
Which never really works out in the end. But it's just like, it's just giving something. Like, you remember the days when you used to have to buy individual songs off, like, iTunes and stuff?
Now, because, man, I just pirate them.
Yeah. But, like, I used to pirate them as well. But it was such an effort. For some reason, I found it more annoying, more difficult to pirate music than I did for film, or ever have for films or TV shows or anything like that. So I used to buy like individual songs, but like I never bought that many, and it was just such a pain. And then as soon as Spotify come along, it's like, you know,
Never pirate again.
I haven't pirated a single track since. But at the same time, the artists get pretty much fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So There are swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, but like that's just. But I'm never gonna buy an
That's-
album as well though. Like I'm not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
into music. I'm into films. Like I buy Blu-rays now. That's
Yeah,
a new,
yeah,
That's a new
uh-huh.
thing that I do. But like only
Criterion.
films that I like. I've only ever pirated one bit of music, and it was Kanye West, The Life of Pablo,
Same.
because he
Same.
just put it up onto Tidal, and I was like, I am not fucking paying for a new streaming service just to listen to this album, Kanye. Multi fucking millionaire Kanye, go fuck yourself. I'm pirating this fucking thing.
Yeah, because you
It's
released
alright.
you released different versions of that as well,
Yeah,
so you have to sort of keep up with it. But like Tidal back then was way more expensive. Is that still around actually?
I think it's gone.
Yeah, that was. I remember that being crazy expensive.
It was like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift and all. They're like,
Yeah.
this is the future of music.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Spotify's too big.
yeah, you lost out there, lads.
And now all their shit, because they all held out on that stuff, and now all their stuff is on Spotify now.
Yeah,
It's inevitable.
yeah,
Spotify is. It's like I'd love a Spotify for films.
yeah. Exactly. That's what
But,
there should
it's
be.
not feasible, I guess.
That'd
It's
just be a
too many.
monopoly, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, Apple Music is kind of a decent competitor to Spotify. Has a lot of stuff, a lot of
It
the same
does.
stuff,
Yeah.
and sort of stuff that isn't on it, like deep cuts and stuff. You know, like Captain Beefheart. They
Yeah.
have Captain Beefheart
Oh,
on
really?
Apple
Yeah.
Music. Yeah,
But that's on YouTube.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube. I watch I watch music on YouTube actually quite a bit.
Yeah,
These
because YouTube is like pretty fucking.
That's pretty much everything.
It has pretty much everything.
Mm.
Like, you know, when like Loveless, I can't believe we were talking about this before, like ages ago, like fucking ages ago. We were talking about Spotify, and I was talking about how fucking Loveless.
Loveless had been like out of print for like 20 years.
I'm not fucking joking.
That day.
I was talking about how I was watching, how I was snapping that Loveless was taken off Spotify, and then the next day I looked at Spotify and I was like, oh, Loveless is on Spotify now. I was like, it's
Yeah.
like great. And this thing is my episode's coming out 2 weeks ago, so now this is gonna be like old news now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's YouTube's great for that, you know,
Yeah, they've everything.
because sometimes artists just get their shit removed off Spotify for whatever reason. It seems the record.
I love
company.
I love fan edits as well.
Mm.
You know, fan takes on music
Yeah,
or on films and stuff.
yeah, fan films.
I haven't really watched fan films though because they're too long. Such an effort to watch.
Marst.
Except for that Harry Styles one.
Oh, thing.
Yeah,
What the fuck was it called?
can't remember.
The one based on the fanfic.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of it. Fucking shy film. Anyway, but yeah, like piracy's fine. Don't worry about it. You know, it's okay. We're in the internet age. Everyone fucking pirates.
Yeah, pirates are cool.
Pirates are cool.
Pirates are actually crazy cool. They should make a good pirate film.
Well,
Except for like Pirates of the Caribbean, but like a good pirate film.
Well, real life pirates are terrible. Like now,
Well, not like Somali pirates and stuff, you know.
like Captain
Captain Phillips would have like machetes
Yeah.
and stuff, and they're like they just want ransom money.
Yeah.
Like all pirates that were also terrifying, but like in a more romantic kind of way.
Yeah, we just romanticized. It's because it's freedom, bro.
Freedom.
You know, it's ultimate freedom.
Like you know that there's like there's a William Burroughs book that starts with like a preface, or maybe it's like part of the story, where it's about like a Libertalia, which is like a sort of like semi-mythical pirate colony out in the middle of Africa, or like one of those islands off the coast of Africa, where apparently like pirates used to like dock. It was like a sort of safe zone for them, where pirates used to dock, and like they built up their own commune, which is apparently like a libertarian paradise kind of thing,
It's so weird.
where you could do whatever you want. But it's also there's sort of semi-mythical figures as well. There's like the one guy who's supposed to be the leader of the commune, who was talking about like republicanism and like equality and stuff, and
It's bizarre.
it was probably completely made up, but
Yeah.
it just sounds cool. They should make something about that, you know.
Mm.
That'd be a cool thing to adapt, I think.
It would be cool. Yeah, 'cause I remember I had this book about pirates, and like you flick through whatever, and like the end is like the modern day pirates. I don't know, maybe it's like the historical thing where when you read back on history, especially when you're a kid for some reason, it's like, oh, that was olden times, that was different. But then you read up on modern day pirates, it's like, oh, this is really fucked up. This is
Yeah.
like reading, especially because they have actual details of accounts of it. So like one of the stories is about these people got kidnapped, and this man and his wife or whatever were kidnapped as part of this group, and the husband got fucking cracked in the head with a machete, and it just is because the wife survived, and like in the fucking account, it just describes like how his like blood was fucking everywhere, and it's like it's really fucked up to read, but that's because like that's a first person account. There's no first person accounts really of pirates back in the day doing all their fucked up shit.
Yeah, because they killed everyone.
Yeah, because they killed everyone. Like I remember there's like one of the pirates, I can't remember his name, I think he's a French dude or whatever. Apparently he used to cut out people's hearts and hold them while they were like dying in front of him, and he'd hold their heart. I was like, but now when I'm looking at it, I was like, is that even possible?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is that possible to take someone's heart out before they die?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fuck, I didn't know that. That's fucked. Jesus, that is so fucked up.
That's just bad.
He used to like.
There's no need. Yeah.
He took a bite out of their heart, like in front of them.
Yeah. That's what the Aztecs used to do now.
It's crazy.
The Mayans. They have that in Apocalypto.
Do they?
Yeah. Where they sacrifice one of the lads. Right, there's even accounts of it from the Spanish when they were fleeing. Tenochtitlan. They were fleeing because they got fucking kicked out. But like the captured soldiers were brought to the top of the steps of the pyramids, and the fleeing Spanish could see their like comrades being sacrificed, like having their chests ripped open and like their heart eaten and then thrown down the steps. You know, it's fucked up.
That's not a good way to die.
Yeah, but like they kind of sort of asked for it with the way they were going on, and they kind of had the last laugh, you know. But it's still crazy what they were doing. Yeah. Back then.
Crazy what the pirates do now as well.
Yeah, bad out all around.
Pirating possession and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the modern day web pirate is fine.
We're not that bad.
You know, if you can pay for it, pay for it. If you can't, don't. I would hate to think though that like, you know, there are films that would, you know, potentially change your life or whatever that like you really connect to. And I think it's a really shitty thing that like that will be blocked off because someone couldn't pay for it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You know? I think I've thought about like my favorite films, things that I've really connected to or whatever, I potentially would have never seen because I'm not willing to take a gamble on buying a fucking 25 or 20 or 15-year-old Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck that, especially because like, especially if you're buying Blu-rays, you have to plan. Then it's like, oh, I'll watch it on this day, as opposed to sit in your room. It's like, oh, I'm gonna watch this now.
Yeah, just stick it on. Stick it on. That's modern life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's the modern world. The internet age.
Fuck the capitalists, but you know, don't steal from smaller companies.
That'll be alright.
Especially because, like, you know, most of these people have already gotten paid.
Yeah, they've all gotten paid. That's
like,
the thing. Unless it's a proper independent film, then they probably haven't got paid. But maybe they're reliant on tickets and stuff. Otherwise, they're fine. They've gotten paid. Maybe they won't make another film if the pirating's too bad. But if the film is good enough, they'll pick up steam. You know.
Yeah.
People will pay for it.
That's the thing. Like, you know, the crew, all the cameras and crew and stuff like that. They've all got paid. Directors, writers. They've all got paid. They've signed onto something beforehand. Maybe like it's that thing with George Lucas that he didn't want profits from the film. He chose profits on the merchandise instead.
Yeah, and it paid off.
So like he's still gonna get paid anyway.
Yeah, but people pitched in. They liked Star Wars, so they bought Jar Jar Binks dolls to fucking show their appreciation to George Lucas. And that's what happened. And he's a billionaire now.
Yeah, he's a fucking awful person, probably. I don't know.
Is he?
I don't know.
He seems alright. He seems like a fucking idiot.
No, he's just a billionaire, so it's just a fucking awful person then.
That's true. That's true. I feel like he's the kind of guy who just sort of like fell into it though.
Yeah.
He's just like, what?
Oh.
He looks at his bank account and is like, what's that about?
That's a large number. I'm sure George Lucas is sound.
I'm sure he is.
Sure, yeah, I think he is just someone that fell into it. Because it is just from merchandise that he made all that money.
Yeah.
He probably fucked over some people to get there, but you know what? Fuck him.
Yeah.
If it wasn't him, it was gonna be someone else. So
yeah, another one of the Spielberg cronies. But yeah,
we leave it at that.
We'll leave it there. Recommend a film for episode 46.
No, 45 next week.
Is it?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
it's next week. We didn't tell the last one.
Oh, yeah, we fucked up on the last one. Yeah, I recommend a film for episode 45 is The Wall, directed by Roger Waters. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, who the fuck directed this film?
I don't know who directed this.
Hold on.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd's The Wall. Who is the director of this film, actually? Is it
Steven Spielberg.
Alan Parker.
Who the fuck is that?
He did Mississippi Burning. And Midnight Express. Were we talking about that film earlier?
Midnight Special.
No, we weren't. Yeah, Midnight Special.
Mississippi Burning. That was a good film.
That was a good film.
The Wall.
Yes.
The Wall,
The album.
Pink Floyd. You know, listen to the album, watch the film, and we're gonna have a grand old talk about it.
Vibe out to this film.
We're gonna absolutely vibe out to it. You know,
Just chill.
One of the all-time great albums.
Yeah.
One of the all-time great music videos, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's basically a
This
music
also
video, I
has
think.
animation in it, so we can describe this as adult animation, I guess.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. Here's our adult animation.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's gonna be episode 45. So
Sweet.
we'll see you then.
See you all.
Bye. Bye.